Welcome to the channel. In today's video, we're diving into the world of the 6 most valuable, ultra-rare coins ever discovered. These are not just pieces of metal, they are hidden treasures capable of changing fortunes. Stay with me as we uncover their mystery, unheard value, and the incredible stories behind them. Don't forget, and let's begin this exciting journey into the world of rare coins. First up, in the world of Australian numismatics, the 1969 20-cent coin holds a place of quiet prestige. A coin that seems ordinary at first glance, yet reveals a fascinating legacy once its story is told. Born during the decade when Australia was still transitioning into its bold new decimal currency system, the 1969 20-cent piece represents one of the earliest efforts to modernize the nation's monetary identity. Even in dirty or heavily circulated condition, this coin carries the weight of that transformation, reminding collectors of the moment when Australia stepped away from pounds and shillings and embraced a fresh decimal era. Its age, its survival through decades of use, and the tangible traces of circulation seen in worn surfaces all combine to make the 1969 20-cent coin far more than everyday chain. It is a small metallic window into a defining historical shift. Collectors value this coin not only for its place in history, but also for its scarcity in truly high-end grades. While millions were minted, very few have survived in very fine, extremely fine, or uncirculated condition, making pristine examples incredibly challenging to obtain. Ironically, even a very dirty or heavily handled example today still captures collector interest, because its existence signifies how few decent survivors remain. Time, handling, storage conditions, and metal deterioration have reduced the population dramatically, and those with sharper details, cleaner fields, and stronger rims command astonishing prices. The rarity escalates sharply as grade improves, and collectors who understand the grading curve recognize how disproportionate the value jump becomes when a coin approaches top quality. Another fascinating detail that enriches its appeal is the coin's copper-nickel composition, which gives it durability while also contributing to distinctive patinas that form over decades. Even coins in dirty condition display intriguing tunning, darkening, or staining caused by exposure to moisture, soil, pockets, and time itself. These imperfections are part of the coin's biography, marking where it has been and how the world around it shaped its surface. And although many collectors prefer higher-grade pieces, others appreciate the rugged, authentic character that such wear provides, making even a dirty example a genuine historical artifact. Market demand for the 1969 20-cent coin has surged dramatically in recent years, driven by collectors searching for early decimal issues with proven scarcity. Values that once hovered around modest levels have now climbed to surprising heights. Depending on grade, certification, and market timing, a well-preserved example can fetch anywhere from $1,000 to as high as $9,000 or more, especially when competing bidders recognize its rarity. Even coins in lower condition continue to rise in value because collectors understand that the supply is shrinking while demand is steadily increasing. The visibility of the coin on collector forums, auctions, and numismatic channels further fuels its momentum, pushing it into the spotlight among Australia's early decimal treasures. For investors, this coin represents more than a collectible. It is a long-term asset with strong appreciation potential. Its scarcity, its early decimal significance, and its growing visibility among Australian and international collectors make it an appealing option for those seeking alternative investments. Historically, coins with low high-grade survival rates tend to perform well over time, and the 1969 20-cent coin fits that pattern perfectly. As collectors race to secure the best-preserved specimens, even mid-grade pieces experience upward pressure, creating a steady appreciation curve that attracts both hobbyists and investors who understand numismatic economics. Collectors seeking to acquire the 1969 20-cent coin must approach the process thoughtfully. Condition is critical, and understanding grading standards is essential to avoid overpaying or misjudging a coin's value. Certification by respected grading authorities can add substantial confidence and protect buyers from counterfeits or clean pieces. Joining numismatic communities, whether online forums, coin clubs, or social groups, opens doors to expert opinions, trading opportunities, and educational resources that help collectors build their knowledge. By learning what to look for in surfaces, strike quality, and wear patterns, collectors can navigate the market wisely and avoid common pitfalls. Beyond its monetary value, the 1969 20-cent coin embodies a cultural symbol of Australia's evolution during a period of modernization and ambition. It reflects a nation reshaping its identity, embracing change, and stepping into a new era of financial simplicity and global alignment. Collectors who hold this coin are not just acquiring metal. They are preserving a piece of national memory that carries meaning far beyond its face value. Its design, its durability, and its story all contribute to a sense of pride and historical continuity that resonates deeply with Australians and international enthusiasts alike. As time moves on, the 1969 20-cent coin only becomes more meaningful. Its international appeal grows as collectors around the world recognize the significance of Australia's early decimal coinage, and its value continues to appreciate as surviving specimens become scarcer. Whether viewed as a cultural relic, an investment, or a personal treasure, this coin stands as a reminder that history endures through the objects we preserve. Its journey from pocket change to prized collectible reflects both its intrinsic rarity and its enduring place in numismatic heritage, ensuring its future as one of Australia's most admired and sought-after coins. The allure of the 1969 20-cent coin also lies in the quiet mystery surrounding its survival patterns, because many circulated pieces were lost to time, discarded, or damaged before collectors ever realized their importance. This makes every remaining coin a silent survivor of an era when decimal money was still new and exciting. Even in dirty or heavily worn condition, it stands as a reminder that the earliest decimal coins were never intended to become rare collectibles. They were tools of daily life. This unpreparedness for future value is exactly why so few high-grade examples exist today, and why even modest survivors draw the attention of serious numismatists. In a market where collectors crave authenticity, the humble, weathered 1969 piece becomes a treasured artifact rather than a flawed one. As global interest in Commonwealth coinage continues to rise, the 1969 20-cent coin has found a place in the international collector community. Numismatists from Europe, America, and Asia increasingly pursue early Australian decimal issues, viewing them as an emerging category with strong growth potential. Australia's stable economic reputation and rich cultural iconography only enhance the appeal, making this coin more than a national treasure. It is a global collectible. International auctions frequently see competitive bidding for high-grade or certified specimens, proving that this once-ordinary coin now commands respect on the world stage. This broad appeal plays a powerful role in strengthening long-term value and ensuring that demand will not fade as years pass. The cultural symbolism embedded in the coin also contributes to its rising prestige. It carries the imagery of Australia's distinctive fauna and national identity, motifs that resonate deeply not only with Australians but with collectors worldwide who admire the country's unique heritage. The coin becomes a miniature ambassador for Australia's natural beauty, history, and character. Combined with its transitional significance from the pre-decimal era, it represents both continuity and change, capturing the essence of a nation embracing modernity while honoring its roots. This dual symbolism enhances its desirability far beyond monetary considerations. Long-term projections for the 1969 20-cent coin strongly suggest continued appreciation, driven by the irreversible decline of surviving high-quality pieces. As collectors become more educated and grading standards become more uniform globally, the premium for certified examples will only increase. The supply is fixed, the interest is rising, and the historical importance is becoming more widely recognized. These forces create a favorable environment for sustained value growth. Investors who secure strong examples now are essentially locking in a piece of numismatic history that will only grow more respected and valuable as time progresses. Ultimately, the 1969 Australian 20-cent coin stands as a remarkable blend of history, culture, and investment potential. What began as simple pocket change has transformed into a symbol of national evolution, a rare survivor of the early decimal era, and a globally admired collectible with lasting appeal. Its story continues to unfold as collectors, scholars, and investors rediscover its importance and elevate it from an overlooked coin to a celebrated treasure. Whether cherished for its worn authenticity or prized for its pristine rarity, this coin's legacy is secure, and its long-term appreciation seems not only likely but almost inevitable. Second in the world of Australian decimal coinage, the 1974 20-cent coin has quietly risen from everyday pocket change to one of the most surprising treasures in modern numismatics. Even in very dirty, heavily circulated condition, this coin carries the unmistakable aura of history, because it represents one of the early years in Australia's bold transition into decimal currency. By the mid-1970s, Australians were still adjusting to the decimal system introduced just a few years earlier, and the 1974 20-cent coin became part of daily life so quickly that few people imagined it would ever become rare or valuable. Today, collectors view it as a symbol of that transformative era, an early decimal survivor whose very imperfections reveal the long journey it endured through pockets, shops, purses, and time itself. What makes the 1974 20-cent coin truly remarkable is its surprising scarcity in higher grades. Millions were released into circulation, yet decades of handling, environmental exposure, poor storage, and natural wear have left most examples in rough condition. Coins with crisp details, sharp rims, and clean surfaces are now extremely difficult to find, making very fine and extremely fine specimens genuinely rare. Even a dirty, worn example carries significance because it represents how few high-quality survivors exist. The rarity curve steepens dramatically as condition improves, and collectors instantly recognize how difficult it is to locate an untouched piece from this year. This rarity has fueled a wave of renewed interest, elevating the 1974 20-cent coin into the spotlight of the Australian decimal collecting world. Another layer of appeal comes from the coin's copper-nickel composition, which gives it durability and a distinctive metallic character that reacts over time. Coins stored in damp environments or exposed to pockets and soil develop deep stains, dark spots, and rugged toning that reflect the environments they pass through. These marks, though technically imperfections, make each coin unique. The copper component within the alloy can cause subtle coloration, adding personality even to very dirty examples that collectors sometimes describe as battle-worn relics of Australia's early decimal era. While some collectors chase high-grade brilliance, others appreciate the raw authenticity and storytelling power of a coin that shows its age with unapologetic honesty. In recent years, the market value of the 1974 20-cent coin has surged dramatically. What once seemed like an ordinary circulating coin has now become a sought-after collectible, with prices rising across all conditions. Clean, well-preserved examples can reach values between $1,000 and $9,000 or more depending on grade, certification, and auction competition. Even lower-grade or dirty examples have seen an increase in value as collectors race to secure any surviving pieces. This steady upward trend is driven not only by rarity, but also by heightened awareness within the collecting community. As more collectors discuss early decimal coins, the visibility of the 1974 issue continues to grow, pushing its value and its reputation forward at an accelerated pace. For investors, the 1974 20-cent coin represents a compelling long-term opportunity. Its limited supply, rising awareness, and significant historical importance position it as a strong candidate for value appreciation over time. Coins that are scarce and high grade tend to outperform the broader market, and early decimal issues have shown consistent growth as collectors mature and new generations enter the hobby. Investors who understand numismatic cycles recognize that the 1974 20-cent coin sits at the intersection of historical charm and economic potential. As demand increases and the number of high-quality survivors continues to decline, market pressure naturally drives prices upward, creating an appealing long-term investment landscape. Collectors who seek this coin must approach their search with strategy and knowledge. Condition remains the most important factor, and understanding grading standards is essential for making smart purchases. Submitting a coin for certification can significantly increase its value, providing authenticity, grade verification, and long-term protection. Joining numismatic communities, whether in-person clubs, online forums, or social groups, gives collectors access to expertise, trade opportunities, and updated market insights. These communities offer invaluable guidance on identifying genuine pieces, spotting cleaning marks, understanding luster, and determining true rarity. The collector who invests time in learning these skills gains a major advantage in acquiring the best examples at the best prices. Beyond its financial appeal, the 1974 20-cent coin symbolizes an important chapter in Australia's cultural and monetary evolution. It carries the iconic imagery of Australian identity, its wildlife, its artistic style, and the spirit of modernity that shaped the decimal era. It represents a nation redefining itself, embracing simplicity and efficiency in its currency while maintaining deep respect for its heritage. To collectors, the coin is more than metal. It is an artifact that captures the emotions, transitions, and daily life of 1970s Australia. Its worn surfaces tell a story shared by millions of people who once used it without realizing its future significance. Today, the 1974 20-cent coin enjoys growing international attention, thanks to the worldwide fascination with early decimal issues and Australian currency. Its global appeal, historical weight, and steadily increasing market value combine to suggest a strong future of long-term appreciation. As surviving examples continue to vanish into private collections, its scarcity will only intensify. Whether cherished for its cultural symbolism, admired for its rugged beauty, or valued as a smart investment, the 1974 20-cent coin stands firmly as one of Australia's emerging numismatic icons, an undeniable testament to how ordinary objects can evolve into extraordinary treasures. The rising prestige of the 1974 20-cent coin is also fueled by a growing recognition of its survival challenges, because many pieces were simply never preserved with future value in mind. People spent them freely, stored them in humid drawers, exposed them to harsh environments, and allowed them to accumulate dirt, scratches, and long-term wear. The result is that most surviving coins today tell a raw, unpolished story of real-world use. This makes every remaining example, clean or dirty, an important fragment of Australia's early decimal timeline. The scarcity of untouched pieces gives even heavily circulated ones a unique sense of authenticity, reminding collectors that true rarity often comes not from low mintage, but from the unexpected loss of high-quality survivors. As the international collector community becomes more interconnected, the global interest in early Australian decimal coins has expanded dramatically. Collectors across Europe, North America, and parts of Asia are increasingly drawn to the distinct design styles and cultural symbolism embodied in Australia's coinage. The 1974 20-cent coin, with its elegant artwork and historical significance, has become a noteworthy highlight among those exploring foreign currency collections. Auction platforms show consistent foreign bidding on top-grade examples, illustrating that the appeal of this coin extends far beyond Australia's borders. This rising international presence strengthens demand, ensuring that the coin's value continues ascending in a steady, globalized pattern. The cultural symbolism of the coin plays a major role in its reputation as well. It embodies themes of national identity, resilience, and the modernization of the Australian financial system. Even its imperfections, whether in the form of grime, scratches, or fatting details, carry meaning, acting as markers of decades during which Australia evolved socially, economically, and culturally. For many collectors, holding a 1974 20-cent coin feels like holding a piece of the nation's growth, a tangible reminder of the era that shaped modern Australia. Its imagery, its metallic texture, and its clear connection to everyday life during the 1970s give it a richness that goes far beyond collectible value. Looking toward the future, long-term forecasts for the 1974 20-cent coin remain strongly positive. The combination of diminishing supply, rising collector awareness, and solid historical importance creates a foundation for continued appreciation. Early decimal coins often undergo revaluation as new generations of numismatists reassess their significance, and the 1974 issue is already benefiting from this evolving perspective. As grading services continue to refine their standards and databases, well-preserved, certified examples will likely see even sharper increases in price. With each passing decade, the distance between the time of circulation and the present moment adds historical weight, further enhancing the coin's desirability and market performance. Ultimately, the 1974 Australian 20-cent coin stands as more than just a collectible. It has become a symbol of transformation, national history, and long-term numismatic promise. From its humble beginnings as unremarkable pocket change to its current status as a prized, internationally recognized treasure, its journey is a testament to the unpredictable beauty of coin collecting. Even in very dirty condition, it preserves the heartbeat of a bygone era, inviting collectors to appreciate its texture, history, and endurance. As attention continues to grow and the supply quietly shrinks, its value, both cultural and financial, will continue to rise, ensuring its place as one of the most admired and enduring icons of Australian decimal coinage. Third in the vast landscape of Australian decimal coinage, the 1977 20-cent coin has emerged as one of the most surprising and fascinating treasures for modern collectors. Even when found in very dirty or heavily circulated condition, this coin carries a deep historical footprint because it belongs to the early generation of Australia's decimal era, introduced just over a decade earlier. By the late 1970s, the decimal system had become part of everyday life, yet Australians still treated these coins as ordinary, unaware that certain years, like 1977, would later become highly sought after. Every worn edge, every stain, every patch of grime on a surviving example is a reminder of the decades it spent in daily use, passing through countless hands before the collecting world recognized its true significance. It stands today as a relic of a transitional period, when modern Australian currency was still defining its identity. What elevates the 1977 20-cent coin from common change to a numismatic rarity is its unexpectedly low survival rate in high grades. Although millions were minted, very few made it past the years with crisp details intact. Most were used relentlessly, tossed into drawers, stored in humid places, or simply overlooked until they became deeply worn. As a result, examples in very fine or extremely fine condition are genuinely scarce, and uncirculated pieces are almost never encountered outside of major collections. Even a dirty or heavily tarnished specimen plays a role in illustrating this scarcity, because it hints at how difficult it has become to find anything close to pristine. The gap between low-grade examples and high-grade survivors is enormous, and collectors know that every step up the grading scale dramatically multiplies a coin desirability. Part of the coin's charm lies in its copper-nickel composition, a durable alloy that reacts over time in fascinating ways. Stored in damp environments or exposed to pockets, soil, and decades of human contact, these coins develop unique tones and stains that testify to their journeys. The copper content in the alloy subtly influences the patina, creating deep grays, dark edges, or patchy discoloration that many collectors describe as battle scars. These imperfections, far from diminishing the coin's historical value, give it character and a tangible sense of life lived. While collectors may dream of flawless surfaces, there is undeniable beauty in the rugged authenticity of a dirty 1977 20-cent piece that has survived the test of time. The market for this coin has grown substantially, with collectors increasingly recognizing its rarity and historical importance. As awareness spreads, values have surged, with top-grade examples reaching astonishing prices from $1,000 to as high as $9,000 or more depending on certification and auction dynamics. Even lower-grade or dirty examples have experienced steady appreciation, simply because supply is shrinking rapidly while demand continues to accelerate. Auction houses, collectors' forums, and private traders have all contributed to its rising visibility, transforming the 1977 20-cent coin from an underestimated circulating issue into one of the most desirable pieces in Australia's early decimal series. This surge in market interest shows no sign of slowing. For investors, the 1977 20-cent coin presents a compelling opportunity that blends historical significance with strong value appreciation potential. Because high-grade survivors are so rare, they tend to increase in value steadily as collectors compete to secure the few available pieces. Even coins in moderate condition benefit from rising demand, especially as more collectors worldwide become fascinated with early decimal Australian coinage. The investment appeal lies in its combination of scarcity, age, cultural symbolism, and the undeniable fact that supply can never increase. As more examples disappear into long-term collections, upward price pressure becomes inevitable, making this coin an appealing choice for anyone seeking a numismatic asset with strong future prospects. Collectors who wish to pursue this rare coin must approach the search with knowledge and caution. Understanding grading standards is essential, because even small improvements in sharpness, luster, or strike quality can mean major differences in value. Certification by a reputable grading service adds credibility, protects against counterfeits, and significantly raises market appeal. Joining numismatic communities, local clubs, online forums, or global collector groups offers valuable insights, access to expert opinions, and opportunities to acquire better specimens. Through these communities, collectors learn to identify cleaned coins, detect wear patterns, evaluate strike strength, and judge true rarity. This knowledge is crucial for making informed decisions in a competitive market. Beyond its financial worth, the 1977 20-cent coin symbolizes an era of profound cultural and economic transformation in Australia. It reflects the spirit of a nation embracing modernization, while carrying forward traditional artistic motifs that celebrate its natural heritage. The design, the alloy, and the decades of circulation collectively capture the essence of everyday Australian life during the 1970s. For many collectors, handling this coin evokes nostalgia, pride, and a deep appreciation for the craftsmanship and history woven into each piece. Its imperfections are reminders of the human stories it has witnessed, stories of a rapidly evolving country moving confidently into a new era. As international interest continues to expand, the long-term future of the 1977 20-cent coin looks remarkably strong. Its scarcity, cultural symbolism, and rising global recognition form the foundation for continued appreciation. Collectors abroad are increasingly drawn to Australia's early decimal issues, seeing them as an emerging category with substantial growth potential. This global appeal ensures that demand will remain vibrant for decades. Whether admired for its rugged beauty, treasured for its historical significance, or secured as an investment with lasting promise, the 1977 20-cent coin stands as one of Australia's most compelling numismatic treasures, destined to become even more valuable with time. The enduring fascination with the 1977 20-cent coin is also fueled by the unpredictable nature of its survival story. Unlike commemorative issues or low-mintage releases, this coin was never expected to become rare, which means people treated it casually, unaware of its future significance. Many were subjected to harsh environments, left in garages, buried in garden soil, soaked in humid containers, or passed endlessly through circulation until their details softened into near oblivion. This natural attrition is what gives even dirty, worn examples a sense of historical authenticity, as each mark, stain, and scratch represents a chapter in the life of a coin that was never meant to be preserved. Today, collectors value this unpredictability because it highlights how truly fortunate one must be to encounter a survivor in respectable condition. As global collectors continue to broaden their interests beyond traditional powerhouses like the United States and the United Kingdom, Australian decimal currency has surged into the spotlight. The 1977 20-cent coin benefits greatly from this shift, capturing the attention of numismatists who appreciate its elegant design, its early decimal heritage, and its compelling rarity story. For international collectors, it represents a refreshing blend of artistic appeal and modern history, unique enough to stand out, yet familiar enough to fit within broader world coin collections. This influx of overseas demand has contributed to rising prices across the board, proving that the appeal of the 1977 20-cent coin is no longer confined to Australian borders, but is spreading confidently across the numismatic world. The cultural symbolism embedded in the coin further enriches its charm, reflecting Australia's deep respect for its wildlife and national identity during a decade of social growth and economic development. Each specimen, whether shining with luster or covered in decades of grime, embodies the distinctive identity of a country forging its modern path. Collectors often find themselves drawn not only to the rarity, but to the emotion behind the coin, recognizing it as a miniature time capsule that carries the voices, stories, and everyday rhythms of 1970s Australia. This emotional depth adds a layer of value beyond any price tag, giving the coin a resonance that appeals both to seasoned numismatists and newcomers alike. Looking ahead, experts and hobbyists agree that the long-term trajectory of the 1977 20-cent coin remains promising. The number of high-grade survivors will only decrease as handling, environment, and time continue to erode unprotected coins. Certified examples will become the gold standard of investment, and as more collectors begin to appreciate the scarcity curve, demand is likely to intensify. This dynamic creates a strong foundation for ongoing value appreciation, especially as historical distance continues to grow. Coins that bridge modern currency with cultural heritage often become standout pieces in future collections, and the 1977 20-cent issue is positioned perfectly to follow this pattern. Ultimately, the 1977 Australian 20-cent coin has transformed from a simple circulating piece into a powerful symbol of rarity, heritage, and investment potential. Its dirty surfaces, worn edges, and weathered fields are not flaws. They are signatures of its long journey through Australian life. As collectors around the world deepen their appreciation for early decimal treasures, the coin's place in numismatic history continues to strengthen. It stands today as a testament to how ordinary objects can gain extraordinary significance, and as time stretches forward, its cultural importance, international appeal, and long-term value are set to grow even more. Fourth, in the world of Australian decimal coinage, the 1980 20-cent coin has recently stepped into the spotlight as one of the most surprising and fascinating discoveries for collectors. Even when found in very dirty, worn, or heavily circulated condition, this coin holds a deep historical significance because it belongs to the first generation of decimal coins introduced only 14 years earlier. By 1980, Australians were fully accustomed to decimal currency, and the 20-cent coin had become a staple of daily life. Yet this familiarity is precisely why so few people paid attention to the details of the 1980 issue. Most coins were spent endlessly, tossed into jars, rattled in pockets, and left exposed to the elements without any thought of preservation. Today, each grimy, aged survivor has become a tiny relic of late 20th century Australian life, capturing the energy, habits, and unfiltered history of a currency still forming its identity. What makes the 1980 20-cent coin truly intriguing is its unexpected rarity and high grades. Millions were produced, but very few have survived with sharp details left intact. The vast majority show heavy wear, deep scratches, discoloration, and a lifetime of handling that stripped away their fine features. Examples in very fine or extremely fine condition are now rare enough to spark competitive interest among advanced collectors, and genuinely uncirculated pieces have become the prize of specialized Australian decimal collections. Even a dirty or heavily tarnished example tells the story of a coin that endured real circulation, hinting at how exceptional true high-grade survivors must be. The distinction between a worn piece and a sharp, original example represents a massive leap in value and desirability, fueling a growing market hungry for quality. Part of the coin's character comes from its copper-nickel alloy, a sturdy metal blend that changes dramatically with age, exposure, and neglect. Over decades of use, the copper within the alloy reacts to moisture, air, and contact, creating dark stains, patchy toning, and rugged surface textures that make each coin visually unique. These dirty or oxidized surfaces are often seen not as damage, but as evidence of a long, authentic life in circulation. While collectors dream of brilliant, untouched pieces, many also appreciate the individuality of a well-worn 1980 coin, regarding its imperfections as a window into the environments it survived. The alloy's ability to record its past gives these coins a personality stronger than many other early decimal issues. The market value of the 1980 20-cent coin has risen sharply as collectors begin to understand how uncommon high-grade specimens truly are. Top-quality examples have achieved market values ranging from $1,000 to more than $9,000 when certified and offered in competitive auctions. Even lower-grade or dirty examples see steady price increases because the overall supply of original pieces is shrinking year after year. Collectors have begun to share discoveries, auction results, and grading insights across online groups, fueling curiosity and demand. This attention has transformed the 1980 issue from an overlooked circulating coin into one of the standout rarities of Australia's expanding decimal series, proving that even modern-era coins can evolve into powerful collectible assets. For investors, the 1980 20-cent coin presents an exciting opportunity grounded in a combination of rarity, historical importance, and undeniable demand. Coins that are difficult to find in high grade often show long-term upward value trends, especially when historical distance adds emotional and cultural weight to their appeal. The 1980 issue sits perfectly in this zone, a coin old enough to be nostalgic, scarce enough to be valuable, and early enough in the decimal era to be meaningful. As more collectors discover its rarity curve, prices are expected to rise further. The fact that most high-grade examples have already been absorbed into private collections creates long-term scarcity, making this coin an increasingly appealing investment for those who understand the numismatic market cycles. Collectors seeking this coin should approach their journey with careful strategy. Condition remains the most powerful factor driving value, which makes knowledge of grading standards essential. Subtle wear on the platypus design, loss of luster, rim dents, and cleaning scratches can drastically impact a coin's grade. Certification from a reputable grading service adds tremendous value because it verifies authenticity, documents quality, and protects the coin for the future. Joining numismatic communities is equally important. These groups offer guidance, expert opinions, trade opportunities, and shared experiences that can prevent costly mistakes and help collectors identify promising pieces. In a market where rarity can be subtle, knowledge becomes the most important tool. Beyond its monetary value, the 1980 20-cent coin carries significant cultural symbolism. It represents a nation in the midst of social and technological transformation, a time when Australia was shaping its modern identity while still honoring traditions through its iconic wildlife designs. Even a dirty, heavily worn example carries the marks of Australian life, pockets filled with change from small shops, public transport fares, arcade machines, milk bars, and the rhythm of everyday routines. For many collectors, the coin feels like a miniature time capsule, a storyteller that connects today's generation with an Australia that was evolving rapidly yet keeping its roots close. Looking toward the future, the 1980 20-cent coin stands poised to become one of the most internationally recognized Australian decimal collectibles. Its combination of rarity, historical significance, and distinctive design holds strong appeal in global markets where collectors seek coins with both character and investment potential. As more high-grade pieces vanish into permanent collections and more people discover the story behind this unexpected rarity, its value, both cultural and financial, is set to climb steadily. Whether admired for its rugged beauty, cherished for its historical resonance, or collected as a long-term investment, the 1980 Australian 20-cent coin remains a rising star in numismatics, destined to grow in stature and significance with each passing decade. Here are 5 more long, detailed, engaging paragraphs continuing the script with the same tone, style, and narrative, extends far beyond its metal composition or its accidental survival in high grade. What truly elevates this coin into a higher tier of desirability is the sense of mystery it carries. How a coin minted in the tens of millions still manages to appear infrequently in genuinely collectible condition. Every serious numismatist understands that rarity is not just about mintage numbers, it's about survival rates, circulation patterns, and unexpected losses over decades. The 1980 coin, especially one found in an untouched, uncleaned, dirt-covered state, hints at journeys through pockets, purses, markets, and forgotten drawers. Each layer of dust or tarnish whispers clues about its past, making collectors feel like archaeologists unlocking a small but fascinating piece of Australian cultural heritage. Another aspect that pushes the 1980 20-cent piece into the realm of serious collectors is how strongly it reflects the Australian identity of its era. The platypus on the reverse, a creature that defies biological expectations and represents Australia's uniqueness, gives the coin a visual charm that never grows old. When enthusiasts discuss its beauty, they often describe the design as a moving snapshot, where the swirling water lines and gracefully positioned platypus capture motion in a way most global coins fail to achieve. This artistic excellence becomes even more striking when the coin is found dirty or worn, as the shadows and highlights created by natural grime give the design an antique, museum-like aura. For collectors, this is not a flaw. It is visual poetry carved in copper and nickel. Over the years, collectors have seen how international fascination with Australian decimal coins has grown rapidly, especially in regions where Australian currency seldom circulated. Many global numismatists are captivated by the purity of the designs, the modernity of the minting techniques, and the consistent beauty across denominations. As a result, coins like the 1980 20-cent piece, already scarce and high grade, gain an added layer of demand from collectors far beyond Australia's borders. This international attention is one of the major reasons why prices continue to rise and why even coins in dirty or barn-find condition can spark bidding wars between passionate collectors who see potential hidden beneath the surface. In terms of investment potential, the momentum behind this coin is undeniable. As more collectors look toward tangible assets that carry historical meaning, coins like the 1980 Australian 20-cent stand out sharply from the rest. It represents a category of collectibles that combine nostalgia, rarity, design quality, and cultural identity. Investors understand that such coins do not merely appreciate, they mature, gaining narrative richness and emotional value as time passes. Every year, as surviving high-quality pieces vanish into permanent private collections, the supply tightens further. This tightening ensures that those who acquire a genuine, well-preserved, or even a dirt-covered but structurally sharp example today are positioning themselves ahead of a wave of long-term appreciation that will continue as younger collectors enter the hobby. Ultimately, the 1980 Australian 20-cent coin holds a symbolic place in numismatic history because it represents the bridge between everyday utility and enduring legacy. Though born as a simple circulation coin, it has risen to become a cultural ambassador for Australia, showcasing its wildlife, its artistic creativity, and its early decimal currency period. Even when discovered dirty, neglected, or forgotten, the coin refuses to lose its charm or significance. Instead, these imperfections enhance its authenticity, turning it into a relic worthy of admiration. With each passing year, its historical weight, collector popularity, and rising international recognition continue to lift it toward long-term appreciation, ensuring that this humble 20-cent piece becomes not just a collectible, but a treasured part of numismatic heritage for generations to come.